He thought it was just another afternoon, sun shining, laughter spilling from the playground, his little girl gripping his hand as they walked home. But in the eyes of strangers, something was wrong. A father's simple joy was twisted into suspicion, and within minutes, flashing lights replaced sunshine. A black dad, accused of kidnapping his own daughter, stood frozen on the sidewalk as police swarmed. Cameras clicked, neighbors whispered, "What happens when love is mistaken for crime?" Watch until the end, because what followed shocked an entire city. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. The father was no stranger to sacrifice. Since losing his wife years earlier, raising his daughter had become both his responsibility and his lifeline. Every braid in her hair, every packed lunch, every bedtime story was an act of devotion. Together, they built routines that carried them through the grief. Saturday walks home from her dance class, ice cream stops on warm afternoons, laughter at inside jokes. These small rituals were proof of the bond they had forged. That Saturday began like all the others. The father lifted his daughter onto his shoulders, her tiny hands gripping his head for balance, her voice filling the street with a song she had learned in class. He smiled, unaware of the stares. A bystander felt uneasy, convinced something wasn't right. A phone call was made. Moments later, sirens blared closer. His ordinary ritual was about to unravel into chaos. The police cars arrived abruptly, tires screeching, officers spilling out with urgency. Commands sliced through the air, sharp, accusatory. "Step away from the child," one barked. The father froze, his daughter clutching his neck, wide-eyed with fear. His pulse quickened, not from guilt, but from the knowledge that one wrong move could change everything. He tried to steady his voice, insisting he was her parent, that she was safe. But his words were drowned by suspicion. Officers demanded separation. His daughter screamed as she was pulled from his arms, her cries piercing the crowd that had begun to form. Phones lifted high, recording every second. Some neighbors recognized him, murmuring that he was a devoted father, but others questioned, what if it wasn't true? The weight of judgment pressed heavily as handcuffs glinted in the afternoon sun. Each click of metal around his wrists stripped away dignity. His daughter sobbed, reaching out for him, a heartbreaking picture of innocence and love torn apart. And yet, the scene did not stay confined to that street. Videos uploaded in real time began to spread. Within minutes, outrage rippled across social media. The incident caught the attention of the mayor, who lived only blocks away. Unable to ignore what was unfolding so publicly, he made his way to the chaotic scene. The father, cuffed and humiliated, had no idea that the next few moments would bring both exposure and a fragile form of justice. The officers tightened their grip as the father stood in handcuffs, head lowered, dignity stripped in front of his child. Then, a black SUV screeched to a halt. The mayor stepped out, phone still in hand, face set with urgency. He had already seen the viral footage. The image of a sobbing girl being pried from her father was impossible to ignore. With authority, he ordered the cuffs removed immediately. The officers hesitated, then obeyed. The father's arms opened, and his daughter rushed back, clinging to him as if never letting go again. The crowd gasped, stunned, as the mayor turned to the officers. This was no kidnapping, but a father's love. The damage, however, was already carved deep into the moment. The public apology made headlines. The mayor acknowledged the grave mistake, calling the father's treatment unacceptable. Yet no apology could erase the humiliation or the tears shed that day. The father carried his daughter home, holding her tighter than ever, knowing innocence had been stolen from their ritual. For many watching, it was a sobering reminder. Prejudice does not always hide in the shadows. It strikes in plain sight, in daylight, on sidewalks where children should feel safe. This was not an isolated story. It echoed the experiences of countless families misjudged because of skin color. The question remains, why does it take a mayor's intervention for truth to be believed? How many more fathers, mothers, and children must endure suspicion before trust replaces fear? Which country and city are you watching this from? Take care.